Afternoon, Dr. Candace.
Hey, good morning, Dr. Tyra. How are you doing? I'm
I'm
so glad to be back.
good. How are you? I know it seems like forever since the last time we taped, but
I
y'all
know.
know how it is in busy land.
Exactly, exactly. We are back. We are back thriving
Mm,
and we're back. And I'm
yep,
very happy to be back, because I don't know if you feel this way, but doing this show and being back to taping, it helps me. It
yeah.
helps. It helps with everything. Is my camera freezing?
It looks like it is. It's freezing on my end.
I hope it's not freezing on y'all end. I hope everything is going good because
No,
it's
it looks
going
like
good on my end.
yeah,
Yeah, it's going good. It really is on my end. So we'll see. I hope it's not freezing.
yeah.
Uh, I hope it's not because I don't. Yeah, because I don't want this to be a blooper show. But are you able to hear me?
Yeah, we hear you fine and clear. You
Okay,
are
okay,
fine, girl.
okay.
Look, we entitled to a blooper show.
Yeah, our first day back for being gone so long, a blooper show. But yeah, we gonna just get it in. Yes, hey, Gossip and Heifers, how are you? Can y'all tell me, is it freezing on y'all end as well? Because I don't know. But yes, so I'm glad to be back. So how has everything been with you?
Everything has been fine. Celebrated my birthday, and then
Happy
after
birthday.
that, thanks. And then after that, I traveled to Atlanta for a few days, and that was really nice. And then I came back home, and yeah, I just was like, oh my gosh, I got home and my sinuses was acting up. I guess from the weather and everything. I went to the doctor, and she was just like, "Oh, your sinuses," and I was just like, "What?" And so last week I actually did something I never ever did before. I sat in the house and watched movies. I never watch movies. Anybody that knows me knows that I'll go to the movies occasionally, but I'm not like this person that will say I'll sit home and watch like Netflix and chill. My thing is that's you could be making money doing something.
Hmm.
So Netflix and chill is not me. So I but I did stay in the house and I watched some pretty good movies last weekend. I watched let me see, what did I see? Kevin Hart got a new movie out.
Oh,
And I look, I don't know if it's a new movie out or not. How about that? Let's start there. Okay. Because I don't be watching movies.
I
But
get it.
he has a new movie. I'm assuming it's new on Netflix called. Wait a minute, I gotta go to the Netflix app to tell y'all what this movie is called. But it was a comedy and it was very funny. I will say the least. It was with him and Woody Harrelson in this movie. But I would say if you get the opportunity to check it out, definitely go through. I'm going to um I'm going to see if I can find a name. But another movie I watched was A Bad Mom's Christmas. That
Uh,
was funny too.
okay.
That was funny too. So yeah, and then I was just like, I never sit in the house and watch movies. So that was interesting. So how was your weekend last week?
It was good. I do want to apologize to everyone about my camera. I don't know what's going on. It's freezing, but we don't want to stop the show because this is our first day back from our hiatus because we needed things that we needed to do and take a little break. I don't want to stop it. Hey, this
Yep.
is real life. This is real time. So I don't want to stop the show, but I apologize to everyone. Hopefully, my voice is still coming through. But if the camera is messing up, that's okay. Hey, let's laugh. Let's live. This is called living. This
Yep.
is living. This is how you live.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a blooper, and there you go. So we having this little blooper and this little glitch with my camera. But if y'all can still hear me clearly, is that true? Can y'all still hear me clearly?
Yes,
If you can
ma'am.
hear
Look,
me,
I'm just about to sit here, Dr. Candace, and act like I'm in a Zoom meeting, right? And the Zoom meeting, you know how they
there,
always do. Put your thumbs up.
there we go. So y'all, let's just do it. Let's just get it in. But the weekend has been great. Everything's been going great on my end.
Mhm.
And that's funny that you said you've been watching movies because I have too. I love action movies. I love
Mhm.
CIA, spy movies,
Mhm.
political, anything action, action, action. I don't like chick flicks. But the funny part is I want to play on a Hallmark show. I want to be in a Hallmark movie. I just told my son that the other day. I want to play a Hallmark movie, and here he go. Do you know how to laugh? And do you know how to cry on cue? I'm like, shut up, I do. But that's
Dr.
what I
Candace,
want to do.
what up, I
But
do?
yeah, I love action movies though. I'm so glad. It feels good to sit and watch movies. Just
It
watch
really
movies.
does. It really does. It really does. It's just something different for a change. At least for me, I know that was really different because I'm like, I don't do this. This ain't a part of my
Exactly.
norm. But yeah, it was fun, and I was glad I took that time to rest because I everybody that knows me knows I don't rest. I'm
Yeah,
always on the run, doing
absolutely.
something. So yep, but it's
Absolutely.
good. But it's glad to be back and back in the swing of things and being able to, present and talk about what we love, what we know, and what we love. So today's
Absolutely.
topic is going to be a good one, a good one, good one, good one, good one that's near and dear to my heart, seasonal affective disorder. But before we jump into our topic for today, we're going to get into the tea with Tyra. All right, so let me tell y'all, we was talking about it, myself and Dr. Candace, because y'all know I always on these streets looking at some of this stuff that's going on in the back end, trying to find, okay, what tea we gonna talk about. What's the name been acting a fool all week? Kanye West, and I just can't.
All week.
I can't even.
All
I'm
week.
like, every day is always something, and then today's breaking news was Balenciaga decided to drop ties with him, business ties with him, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and the thing is, yeah, it can hurt your pocket, but can it hurt your pocket? My thing is, when you start your own clothing brand,
Mm-hmm.
it don't matter, right?
Absolutely.
Because the thing is, I wore a couple of your things. I bought some of your stuff, and honestly, you really don't need a name. How can I put it? A box store brand or a designer label to create your own clothing line because you are your brand. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I'm pretty sure his attitude to them is good riddance.
And I
You
get
know.
that. Yes, I definitely get that. I agree with you on that part
Hmm.
due to his financial stance. So with
Hmm.
his financial, he don't need them. So I get that.
Yeah.
However, when you create a brand
Hmm.
and you have a certain and you are at a certain financial status, I still think it's important
Hmm.
to maintain a certain decorum and a
Correct.
certain way about yourself,
Hmm.
whether people buying your stuff or not, or big box stores are purchasing merchandise from you and putting your inventory in their stores.
Hmm.
The way we are here, we're a little jaded.
Right.
We're a little
Hmm.
jaded here in America. So if you present yourself one way, it can turn some people off,
Hmm. Right.
especially when you're your brand. It's one thing to be down to earth and just like, I'm just gonna say it, I don't give a shit. But then, do you really want to be that way? Do
Right.
you gotta care just a little bit,
Just a
just,
little
just,
bit. Just a
just a
little
little
bit.
bit,
Just a
just a
little bit.
just a little bit. Just a little bit. You gotta care just a little bit. So yeah, so I get where he's coming from. I get how things can get misconstrued and he can
Hmm.
go through a lot of things, but yeah, you got to care just a little bit. Yeah,
But you know what?
because
One thing I will
he has
say though,
money.
people constantly making excuses though for people's behaviors. That's something that has been is a bit much. Some of the behaviors that he's been doing, and people was, oh well, he still hasn't healed from his mom. Okay, yeah, we understand that, but we're not going to blame everything on that, right? Because the thing is, you're opening your mouth and you're doing these things on your own free will. You know what I mean? And my thing is, we know people grieve differently and handle things when they are been hurt differently, right? But at the same time, we got to stop making excuses for people for their behaviors. They said what they said, they do what they do, and we have to believe them the first time asked. Right? Right?
Absolutely. I
So,
totally agree with you. I totally agree with you because people, you're right, people do heal different and
mhm,
losing his mom and going through all that, but still, he has to take some
mhm,
accountability. You are
right.
so right about that. And
Mhm.
I like what Alex said too, that he is about to be annihilated
Mhm.
and alienated. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
And yeah, it will hurt his pockets
Annihilated
at some
look, alienated and annihilated both at the same damn
at the
time.
same time. And it
Mhm.
can hurt your pockets. And
Yeah.
not only just your pockets, just your self-esteem, just you as a person. Because as
Mhm.
human beings, we all want to belong in
Mhm.
somewhere. Now we all
Mhm.
don't want to belong everywhere, but you
Mhm.
want to belong somewhere. That's how we are as human beings, you know.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's hurtful. So I hope we get it together, and we can't blame everything on mental illness because we
No.
do know he is battling with something. But we
Right.
cannot blame everything on mental illness. Be
Right.
mad complain. Let's get it together. Talk to somebody. I don't know. But you
Right.
can't blame everything on mental illness. You're absolutely right.
Right.
You are.
And you can't take him and drop him off at therapy and think that's what's going to happen, right? Because at the end of the
Yes.
day, he only going to receive therapy when he's ready to receive it, not because everybody else in the world wants him to have it.
Hmm.
And that's what people
Absolutely.
need to understand too. When we sit back and oh, that boy needs therapy. He can't. He's not going to be receptive to it until he's willing to accept it and sit down and say he needs it. You know what I mean?
I
Right
agree.
now, he needs a whole lot of things right now. You know what I mean? But I think
Hmm.
I think he needs to probably go visit some older relatives and go get himself a hug. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
a hug
I
goes a
pray for him
long
and I
way.
hope he gets it.
Yeah, and that's all.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
pray
I
for him.
pray for him. That's it. I just leave it right
Yeah, and
there.
I do hope we get it together because I do like his music. I think he is very talented.
Right.
I do. I like his music and
Hmm.
I like him. It's just that some of the things he said, like about the George Floyd controversy,
That was
that's
horrible.
hurt. That's hurtful and horrible,
Very
especially to
hurtful.
his
And what
family.
was he watching?
Yeah, and then that chick Candace that he hangs with. Oh Lord, for me, just saying that just still cheers up my spine because we got the same name and it spelled the same. And then the chick Candace that that's always rolling with him and jumping on the bandwagon,
She's a
and they like
whole
two
mess
peas
within herself.
exactly, and they two peas in the
But
pot.
I think,
And they're bringing up having fentanyl. What is it called? Fentanyl or whatever, fentanyl or whatever in his
fentanyl.
system.
Yeah,
That has nothing to do with it. It was still police
right,
brutality.
right, exactly. It was
Yeah.
police brutality, and it still happened. But you know what I felt? I think the funniest statement of the whole everything this week was when Trump said that he needed to go get help, that Kanye needed
The
to go get
audacity.
help, and it was just like, well, damn.
Now you know when
Now
he said something wrong,
and you need to go with him.
right?
It need to be a 2-for-1 deal.
Absolutely.
Like, really,
Yes.
dude? Like, and I was sitting there like watching this, like, I know he didn't even say that when he need to take his
Did
ass
he
to the
say that?
courtroom, when he need to go ahead and take this, whatever they gonna do to him like a man. Like, come on. Go ahead to court and do
Exactly.
what you need to do. You need to be handling your business without a word about what he doing.
I was so shocked. I so sad. But that says something. That spoke volumes
It did. It
when
did.
he said, you need to get help. Something wrong. I don't know if your mom ever said this to you, Dr. T, but when my mom, I was raised like this. She said, if everybody said it, it must be true.
Oh, you
My
know
mama said
what?
to me, all those people ain't lying.
Let me
All
say
those
this.
people not lying.
But it did when the last person says it. The last person and the least person you suspect say it. That's when you know it's
You
a
like,
it's a
yeah, I think
problem.
so. Yeah.
And you might be
Yeah.
right, Gossip and Heifers. Yeah, Kanye, he might do hate himself. He probably does hate himself from a lot of the things. This
Or
yeah,
don't know himself.
but
It
he
could be
probably
a
don't even know himself because that's a whole topic within itself. Because a lot of people out here don't even know who they are. They don't know who they
absolute.
are. They don't know
It could
themselves.
be
They
a
don't
lot.
know. They don't know themselves. They don't love themselves. They don't. You could ask them a series of questions and get all the answers you want, and none of the answers will equal up to self love.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. It can be, it's a mess. So all we can
Hmm.
do as professionals and as
Hmm.
podcasters and on here is talking about him. We wish him the best and we hope
Yep.
he get the help that he needs. Because
Yep.
I do. I wish him the best and I hope he get the help that he
Yeah.
needs. And not just
Mhm.
for himself, but for his family, his children. He has four
Yeah.
children. You
Yeah. That he
know,
got to think
he has
about,
four
and,
children.
and he definitely needs to tone down. Girl, all I can think of is those kids when they start dating. I feel sorry for whoever they bring home.
I know, right?
Whoever they bring home ain't gonna stand a chance in hell. Could you
Hey,
imagine? It's like when you think about like you think about, when we would bring people home, we was already afraid already. Now, could you
Yes,
imagine?
exactly. Though what the little girls got to go through, because he has two girls and two boys, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
just, yeah, yeah. So now
Hmm.
I'm I'm seeing, even though we're still on the outside viewing in a little bit, I'm
Yeah,
able to see what Kim was saying when she was like, "I can't be in this marriage.
right.
I can't.
But
I can't be in this
right,
marriage."
right. She did what she had to do. You know what I mean? She did what she had to do. She stuck in there longer than what I think most thought, when we look at, her marital track record. But with all the other marriages, she didn't have kids.
Exactly.
And when you have little
Exactly.
people that you got to think about, it puts the whole thing, put your whole life into perspective, and it makes you think a whole nother way. Like, okay, let me handle my children. Let me handle what I need to do. Let me, I know I got to put them first now.
That's right. Absolutely.
Your priority changes all together different. All priorities all together different. So,
That's right.
yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
That's
So,
true. Yes,
yeah,
so I
but
wish them the best.
yep.
We at the Mental Health Minute, we do. We wish him the best,
Yeah.
and because he seems like a good father, but it's more than being a good father of providing
Mhm.
financially. Get
Yes.
yourself together mentally and get emotionally stable, so you can actually be there for the children as he need to be. But
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he will. I'm saying I'm optimistic.
Yep.
The brother is gonna be okay. I
Yeah,
think he's
I
gonna be
think
okay.
he's
I'm
gonna get
gonna
it
give up on him.
together eventually. He gonna get it together. It might be one of them things where you go to bed and wake up, and then all of a sudden everything is back to normal, and you're
Yeah.
feeling back to yourself, and it's just like, okay, let's get it.
I know. I know. Alex wrote that he views himself as a martyr at this point, and that's
Mhm.
not healthy. That's not good because you
Mm-mm.
can't be the martyr and the victim. Because I see some victimization there as
I
well.
know that's
Yeah,
right. You can't be a martyr and a victim. Hell no.
and I see a lot of people that want to play that game. So I get
All the
it.
time. Look, all the time.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. What else you got today, Doctor
That's
T, with the tea we
look,
touch?
that's all for my tea today because look, I said that individual was one in himself, child. That was it.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, we wish him the best. And again,
Yes.
I apologize for this blooper I got going on with the in and out, but I don't want to stop. Y'all need to see
Yeah,
the real.
girl,
Y'all
you
need to see it.
good. You are good. All right,
Yeah.
so we're gonna go right into our next segment. We're gonna take a little break and we're gonna go right in. All righty, everybody. So, our topic for the day is seasonal affective disorder, also known as seasonal depression. Let
Hmm.
me let me tell you, this time of year, right? Starting around the change of season when school starts back, September, October, mainly. Well, I'm not gonna say mainly October because it happens all the time, right? During the pandemic, it was like all the seasons was running together because everybody was home all day, and so now we're trying to get back to a new normal. And seasonal affective disorder now is, you know prevalent because it happens during change of seasons. And so many of you probably ask yourselves, what is seasonal depression? What
Yeah.
is seasonal affective disorder? So what it is it begins at the same time every year, right? If you're like most people with SAD, that's what the acronym up for it is. Your symptoms probably start in the fall and continue into the winter months, right? sapping Sapping your energy and making you feel extremely moody and less often sad because depression in the less than often seasonal affective disorder happens causes depression in the spring or early summer, right? So for the
Mhm.
most part, this basically drains your energy, right? Because you're missing the spring and the summer, and now we're in the fall, and it's just like the leaves are beautiful. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. The leaves are beautiful. The
Yeah.
air is crisper, and a lot of people, some people like that crisp air, right? But for the most part, when the time changes, the sun goes in earlier, and it's just like, and things just aren't as like it was during the summer months, right? And so when we look at when the season starts to change, we are like, ooh, this ain't good. We start to get cold, at least for the people in the Northeast. Let me speak for the Northeast, right? Because I know a lot of people like Dr. Candace transitioned the hell out of the East and the Midwest and moved on out west, where they don't I don't think y'all don't really experience too much with the change of season too much, do you, Dr. Candace?
We don't. No, we
Okay.
don't. I'm here in Southern California,
Mhm.
and it was in the 90s yesterday, and it will be in the 90s today. And
Woo,
it's been Christmas time here. Literally on Christmas Day, I
Christmas.
had on flip flops. On Christmas, I had on flip flops. I mean, yeah, we here on Thanksgiving, you can wear shorts and run to the store. It's no
Mhm,
jacket. So we
mhm,
don't experience a lot of the seasons. Now we can get cold, but cold to us at night it'll go maybe 45,
mhm,
but that's at night in
mhm.
the November, end of November, December, January. But then it's 70s and 80s during the day.
Okay.
So we really don't experience
And
that.
what about the time? Do you see a lot of
And
clients with seasonal affective disorder out there, or
yes,
not
I do. We
really?
still see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we still see it, and that's because maybe the time difference of daylight savings time. So we still see it, and some of them have, it just occurs, and a lot of it is not due to the weather. It's
Mm-hmm.
due to the seasons change, but not necessarily the weather. It's the
Mm-hmm.
holidays. It affects
Mm.
a lot of people,
Right.
especially a lot of empty nesters, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, single people,
Mm-hmm.
divorcees. It affects a lot of people in that aspect where they start to feel alone.
Right.
When the holidays come, they're like, if you have lost loved ones or
Mm-hmm.
loved ones maybe moved away or
Mm-hmm.
friends moved away, and it starts to affect them. So, and that still can go with that as well. When the seasons come, and it has nothing to do with the weather, it could just be the holidays itself can
Mm-hmm.
make
Right.
people feel depressed. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
absolutely.
You're 100% right on that.
Yes.
And when we sit down and we actually look at all of the symptoms, right? Some of the symptoms is feeling depressed most of the day, nearly every day, losing interest in activities that you once enjoyed, again, low energy, experiencing in a change in your appetite or in your weight, feeling sluggish or agitated, which we not gonna blame all this anger out here these days on agitation from sad, right? Um, Having difficulty concentrating, right? Because a lot of people, have been suffering from brain fogs over the past few months, right? And may not understand why, but a brain fog and having difficulty concentrating is two different things, right? Especially when it comes to seasonal affective disorder. Feeling hopeless, worthless, or guilty, right? Or having frequent thoughts of death or suicide normally happens with seasonal affective disorder and SAD. Now, when we think about the symptoms specific to the season, right? So, symptoms specific to winter onset seasonal affective disorder, sometimes called winter depression, right? That includes oversleeping, a change in appetite, craving for foods that's high in carbohydrates, as well as weight gain, tiredness, or low energy. One of the diagnoses or one of the symptoms that a lot of people experience with fall and winter seasonal affective disorder is tiredness or low energy, you know, and weight gain. Okay, we see a lot of that during the winter months. I know when time goes back, time will be going back in a couple weeks, right? I believe it's going to be happening on November the 6th, I believe. And we fall back. And falling back means we gain an extra hour of sleep, and then we spring forward in the spring where we lose an hour. But the one thing that happens when we gain that hour, we lose an hour of sunlight. Now, I don't know if it's me. Last year, everybody's like, Tyra, you lost your mind. This did not happen. I could have swore last year, everybody, that it got dark at 4 o'clock. And folks are telling me I'm making it up. I know I'm not making this up. I know it was a couple of days that it was dark outside by 4:30. Between 4 and 4:30, it was looking like it was like 9 o'clock. And I was just like trying to make sense of this. So if anybody remembers last year during that time, and I know I can go to the almanac and research this and see what time, was the average time for time to change. But I remember it being dark, too dark for anybody to be outside during those times. But it is what it is. So let's see. D says I was having a brain fog, but I think it was from taking that melatonin. Not sure. Okay, and that.
Oh,
Mm-hmm,
now with melatonin,
mm-hmm,
now I have a lot of patients that's on melatonin that battles with sleep issues or insomnia or just getting to sleep. Or no, they get to sleep, but just staying asleep. However, I've never known it to do that. I know it can cause nightmares. Now,
mm-hmm.
with that, D, have you stopped taking the melatonin and do you still have brain fog?
She said
Because
she
if you
stopped taking it. She stopped taking the melatonin because her kids thought she was having a stroke.
Okay, but do you still have brain fog, B? Because if you still have brain fog and you have stopped the melatonin, then it wasn't the melatonin.
Right. Might have been something else. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. Now, is it only around this time of the year that you get that?
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
you're
because
right
that's
about that
something that
four
we gotta
o'clock
take
too,
it.
Dr. Tyra.
Yeah.
You're right about that 4 o'clock when it's now I would know that because we're on two different coasts.
Right.
However, when it's towards a certain time
Mm-hmm.
of year, it gets darker. It gets dark early
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She says she
when it's
stopped
around
it
a
and
certain
she
time.
has no more fogs.
Oh, it could have been
So it
the
must have was that.
melatonin.
Yep. Must have was the melatonin. Well, I'm
And
glad
I
you
do want to
stopped
put this
me.
spin on it. There's
Yeah.
different types of melatonin.
Mm-hmm.
There's different strands of melatonin, and with the melatonin,
Mm-hmm.
with certain melatonins, they have um, you need to look at the milligrams. So it
Mm-hmm.
could have been the milligrams. I don't know if you was on 5, whether you
Okay.
was on 10,
Mm-hmm.
15. So it's different types of melatonins.
Mm-hmm.
So different strands,
Yes.
and look at the milligrams.
Yes. Because I know they
Because
give
so that could have
melatonin
been
to
it.
children too. I know they give
Yes,
melatonin to children when children are hyper and experiencing
especially
some
before
kind
it's
of
time to get on the
anxiety.
airplane.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah.
So,
So I get it. She says first time it happened, I was having a sleeping problem. Thought it would help. Okay, and that's understandable. And she was on 10 milligrams.
yeah, maybe 5 or a half of one would help
Hmm.
if you
That you
ever
needed.
decide to go back to it.
Hmm.
They have 5 in the gummies. So you
Right.
probably can take 5 milligrams within a gummy. I don't know if you're with the gummy because I want you to remember that there are different
Right.
strands of melatonin and you have to look at the milligrams because that could
Right.
have been too much for you.
Right.
Absolutely. So,
Thanks
Dr.
for the
Tyler,
super sticker. Thanks for the super sticker, D. Thank you so much
yes,
for the super
thank
sticker.
you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. We appreciate the love. We appreciate all of y'all coming in, joining in. We really do. So,
Yeah.
Dr. Tyra, with this seasonal affective disorder or like seasonal depression,
Mhm.
when do you see within your patients and
Mhm.
your clients that it starts to decline, it starts to go away?
When I see it start to go away when the sun starts to shine more. Like so I would say like the spring and the summer months is normally when
Okay.
I see a lot of them experiencing a change in their mood and a change in their attitude. It's like once that happens, it's like, like I'm looking at the list of clients that I have now and I look at how they all jump ship come June, July, and I don't hear from them or see them. But then as soon as the holidays come, right? And because seasonal depression and the holidays do bring on a lot of depression because a lot of people become very upset and very sad because of a lot of the things that's going on in their life during the holidays, missing loved ones, can't purchase gifts for the holidays, unable to spend time with family. So we see a lot of things like that happening during those times as well. And so with that being said, you know, um, we experience, seasonal. I'll see a number of clients with seasonal depression. Now, I might see the clients mainly from fall through winter, but then as soon as the middle of spring starts, that's a wrap. Once we get closer to Memorial Day, that's when people are like, okay, I don't need therapy no more. I'm gonna just take a hiatus. I'll take a few months off and come back later on.
I
And I
totally agree.
yeah, and I'm like, okay. I mean, my thing is, I'm not gonna, keep somebody that don't want to be kept.
Yes. Yeah,
So
absolutely. Absolutely. I do recommend that they was to stay on,
I
but
do.
you're right. If they don't want to stay on, they don't have to because it fluctuates. Now,
Right.
let me ask, do you see this disorder, seasonal depression disorder, more in men or in women?
You know what? I'm gonna say it's a 50-50 balance.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna say 50-50, but yeah, 50-50, because when it comes to both sexes, it's in regards to what is actually happening in their life at that time. What's
Okay.
happening in their life at that time and who's in their life at that time, because when this seasonal depression starts happening, and like if I see it and it's among, like with people related to the holidays, money is normally part of the reason why I might see it, because people
Hmm.
wanting to do so many things and are
Hmm.
unable to do it because of finances, and so when that happens, that is a balance. But then, when I have people who are experiencing it because of a lot of grief, a lot of death that happens in their life, that's something that, those individuals, I might see them all year round because of that, because of, the hard time that they're experiencing, from, losing a loved one who might have been, very, very close to them. And it's just like, and thinking about all the favorite things and all the stuff they like to do during the holidays, so.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you. It is, it can be 50-50. However, within my practice and what I have seen, I
Hmm.
see more women be more vocal about the symptoms.
Hmm.
Men is like pulling teeth, or we got to find it ourselves. I have to go and dissect. I have to go and try to
Hmm.
figure it out. But with the women, they're more vocal. Do
Hmm.
you find that as well? Women are more vocal about, hey, this is what's going on.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
we're
Oh gosh,
more
yes.
vocal.
Women are more vocal, definitely. They will let us know exactly what's going on. You know, Dee said when she was young, it would get around really bad around Halloween. That's when her pop passed. And I
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you know what? And that's why we were having this discussion today. Because, because both of us know, like during these fall months, that's when it starts to get really bad for a lot of people, because it starts up, not just a bad time, Halloween. Well, Halloween, well, you know what? Because we know we see some people celebrate Halloween, some people don't, when it comes to, all of that. But during this time, is normally when we start to really, really see it, see people experiencing it. And the thing is, we want people to be able to feel well, during these holidays and know that they do have resources out there that they can utilize should they feel very depressed and really saddened by all of this.
Hmm. Absolutely. I do. I agree.
Oh,
Yes, I am so sorry for your loss, Dee. And I know
yeah.
it can be hard. I know, especially
Wow.
around Halloween. Like you said, he's buried on
Yeah, and
Halloween.
she said they buried him on Halloween. So I know that is traumatizing to a child. You know,
Absolutely.
that is very
Absolutely.
traumatizing to a child. So I can only, imagine, how you were feeling, doing all of that around that, and
Hmm.
and then you still trying to be a child,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely. Now,
Mm-hmm.
as an adult, it says, I'm good now, old age help. Absolutely. Mature,
Hmm.
seasoned age. Absolutely.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you,
Hmm.
do you celebrate him now on Halloween? Because you said, I am good now.
Hmm.
So on Halloween, instead of when you were younger, it's bringing on that sadness. Do you
Hmm.
celebrate him now?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dr. Tyra, let me ask you, do you think age has something to do with it? Do you think seasonal depression disorder target more adults than children?
You know what? I'm gonna say that seasonal depression, I think a lot of people experience it, But I believe that when it comes to children, they try to say that kids don't experience. But my thing is, anything an adult can feel, a child can feel as well. So with
Absolutely.
that, I believe that children can experience seasonal affective disorder. I do feel that they can experience seasonal depression. You know, I think with the kids though, I believe it start for them as soon as school start back. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Because they done lived a good summer, had a good summer, playing, frolicking, and doing everything they want to do. And then school starts back, and now I'm back to this normal thing called school. And it's just like now I got to go back to getting up early in the morning and, and fighting with getting dressed and going to school. And, and when you look at, everything that the parents have to go through, the children are experiencing the same thing as well.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, I think kids go through it.
Yes. What have you on personal note, have you ever experienced seasonal depression disorder?
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah because my thing is, it's just like I love the sun. I love the sun. I like the fall. I like the fall, but I just don't like the cold. So my problem
Hmm.
comes with the winter months, right? I like outdoors. I like to see sunshine. I'm not a person that's like if I'm in the house too long, I will tell you in a heartbeat, I get sunlight deprivation where I need to have a little bit of vitamin D in my life. Because other than that, you will start seeing the physical effects of me not getting any sun. As far as myself, I noticed the changes in my facial features. My skin starts to look a little like I have like a grayish tone. My eyes, I notice I'll have bags under my eyes, like if I stay in the house too long. And what I mean by staying in the house too long, if I'm in the house, like we know being in the Northeast, we have a lot of snow and things like that, and a lot of 10-degree weather days. So, to go in the house and be like, I ain't coming out until all this blow over, that's real. You know what I mean? And so for me, being in the house when it's cold and be like, I ain't going out there and be in the house for 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 days straight.
That's a
Yeah,
lot.
that's a lot. And so I noticed, all of the different changes. And that's when I say, okay, Tyra, nope, you need to take your tail outside. You need to go and you need to go outside and see what's going on. And enjoy some of the even if it's not warm outside, go enjoy some of the weather and see what's happening out there so that you can do what you got to do. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
How about you,
Yeah.
Dr. Cadis? Have you ever experienced it?
Yes, I have. At one point, it was so bad, especially in the fall or when it starts raining in the
Hmm.
winter months. I don't like the cold. I don't like winter months. I love
Hmm.
summer. I
Hmm.
love heat. I like the hot. The best clothes are in the winter and fall, but I do like heat. I love the heat and the sun and just, I like it hot. I prefer that. I feel better.
Hmm.
And but the older I get, I'm starting to adjust now. But I've had seasonal depression very bad. I've had it bad over
Okay.
some years. It's
Hmm.
I it's contained now.
Hmm.
Actually, I'm doing very well with it now because I learned
Okay.
how to adjust and I learned how to have systems in place where I can cope
Okay.
because I don't like cold. I don't like it. I like
Hmm.
freedom, and I feel sun and being hot outside brings on freedom because your body you don't feel constricted. Like
Hmm.
I don't have to shovel the snow or wipe off the car, heat the car up before I leave. That brings on
Hmm.
anxiety. I'm from Detroit, so
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. So
Hmm.
being out here in California, I just it's free mind. I could just hey, get up, get in the car and go. Sun shining. It's
Hmm.
nice. So I like that. But when it rains really bad, and I don't like driving in the rain, that brings something. So sometimes, but
Yeah.
like I said, I have it under control now, and it's better. So,
Hmm.
but yes, I have experienced it. So I don't want people to think because we are clinicians that we don't go through it. I've been through it
Hmm.
with seasonal
Oh yeah.
depression as well.
Yep. Oh
Mental
yeah. We go
exams,
through it.
yeah, we go through it as well. So what tips do you have? Do you have any tips
I
Any
sure
tools
do.
that
Girl, you know
people
I
can
got tips.
use?
So
There
one
you
tip I will say is number one, we're going to eat a balanced diet, right? So that's the first tip. We're going to have a eat a balanced diet, because eating a balanced diet will help us, with uh overcoming seasonal affective disorder. Now I host a seminar during the month of November for seasonal affective disorder, where I partner with a chef as well as another culinary expert. And what we do is we actually we provide people with healthy eating tools so that they'll be able to do what they need to do to keep themselves as healthy. So I have a whole yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find it. I know I have it around here. I'm gonna get it out so I can get to everybody. But a list of foods that you should be eating during this time of year to keep you grounded. Because the thing is, it's so easy during this time of year to eat unhealthy foods because we're in the house and we're not doing as much as we normally would do. So with that is certain vegetables and certain things that we should be eating to keep us grounded. The thing is we want to make sure we keep ourselves healthy, right? So the second thing we're going to do is we're going to do our best to spend some time in the sun. So even with everything going on in the weather, we want to be able to spend some time in the sun, getting a little bit of that vitamin D. You don't have to go outside to embrace the sunshine. You can now open your blinds and let the natural sunlight into your space. You know what I mean? We might want to consider sitting down and doing things by the window. You know what I mean? Like, sitting by the window and being able to connect with the sun and everything. The next tip I have, tip number 3 is connect with others. If you have friends and family that you want to connect with, being able to take that time to connect with them. Use that time to say, "Hey, is everything okay? How's everybody doing?" And check in on those who you don't regularly check in on, right? My fourth tip is going to be to exercise regularly, right? So regular exercise does not have to consist of going to the gym every single day. We are not here to tell you all that. But what I will tell you is this: doing walking. A lot of us do a lot of walking, dancing. Like if you got on some music on Instagram or something like that, get up and dance. You know what I mean? That also helps, right? And while doing all these activities, I want you to be able to track your daily mood. Track your daily mood, right? And the reason you're going to track your daily mood is because the bottom line is we want you to get a understanding of when you become sad versus when you're happy. So this way, you know your exact time of day. Because one thing I always ask all of my clients, what is your best time of day? Right? We need to know what is our best time of day. What is the best time of day for you? For me, I'm an early person, right? I'm the early person catching the worm. I'm up by 6 o'clock, by 6:30 at the latest. I'm talking about up and dressed and ready to rock and roll. My thing is, I'd rather be an early starter than a late riser because sometimes when you get up too late, you just don't know, right? You get up late, you miss out on everything. But when you get up early, you're there and ready for everything, right? And so that's what I will say. And then the next tip I will give is if you find yourself in a situation where you feel like it's getting too much, right? You can definitely reach out to a therapist. Find yourself a therapist, somebody who will be able to help you with therapy and find out things that they can help you with, so that they can give you the coping skills and the tools that you need to get you where you need to be, right? Because there's a whole lot of different services out there, and we want to make sure that everybody is the best version of themselves that they can possibly be.
Right.
And
Beautifully said.
yes, so what
I love it.
anything you want to add, Dr. Candace?
The only thing I want to add is, first of all, I love all of those, all six of
Mhm,
them. I think it was 6 or 7, absolutely 6 or 7. They were amazing, beautifully said. The only thing I want to add is be in tune with your emotions, identify with
mhm,
them, and check in on yourself regularly. Just like track your mood, don't just track your mood, but actually check in with yourself on how you feel and why you feel that way. Because tracking your mood is this is how I feel, but checking in with yourself is why I feel this way. So yeah, just check in with yourself to see where you are. And
mhm,
because that's how I was able to overcome mine. I was in tune with
mhm,
my emotions and I checked in
mhm,
with myself and I was able to identify, oh, that's a trigger for me around this
mhm,
time. Like
mhm,
Dee wrote, she said, like today will be my husband's birthday. It
mhm,
says, just thinking of him now.
mhm.
So she's able to identify that. So if she has, so hypothetically, I'm just speaking because I don't know, but if
Mhm.
Dee has a low mood today, she know why. Do you get where I'm going with this? So that because that's a trigger for her. That
Right.
could be a trigger for her. Or
Mhm.
she may celebrate him today, like
Right.
thinking of him and thinking of all the good times. So
Mhm.
that's why I say be in tune with your emotions to see how you feel.
Yep.
Absolutely. But that was beautifully said. Those are great tips, and we all need to be in tune with that. And you can share them with loved ones and family and friends if someone
Yeah.
that is battling with seasonal depression disorder because it is real. So
Yeah.
check in, even with your strong friends.
Hello. Hello. And we will be back in a couple weeks, and we'll be also talking about getting through the holidays.
Yes,
Because
because now we
the
got to get through
holidays,
the holidays.
woo, let me tell you, the holidays always bring up stress. There's a lot of
Yes,
people that experience a lot of stress during the holidays because of the loved ones that's coming to visit and all of the different things. And I know myself, I wrote a number of articles about, situations that happen to people and trying to, make it work for everybody. And everybody needs to know that during the holidays, you are not everybody Superman or Superwoman. You are one
absolutely.
person. And just remember that you are one person and that you can't do everything for everybody.
That's right. Absolutely. Beautifully said. That is great. That is great. So, Dr. Tyler, what is your last word? That was amazing.
My last word is everybody, if you need to check in, make sure you check in with yourself. Make sure that you continue to, be able to recognize if you're not feeling good and you're not feeling yourself, and you feel like you're being, plagued with seasonal depression. Make sure that you utilize the tips that was provided today. Make sure to get yourself some sunlight, being able to connect with others, being able to, exercise, walk around a little bit, make sure you do your favorite activities. If you don't want to go outside,
Mhm.
sit in the living room or sit wherever you have the most light at in your house. Sit right by there so that you can get some of that light in, and maybe that will help you, because light therapy is good. Let me tell you, light therapy is a form of therapy, believe it or not, that
It
helps
is.
people who are experiencing seasonal depression. We want you to be 100% whole, and if there's anything I can do, please, don't hesitate to reach out.
Absolutely.
What
That's
about you,
right.
Dr.
And
Candace? What's your last words?
you're Yes, you're definitely right about the light therapy. And anyone that is interested in light therapy, or you know someone, a family, a friend that's interested, you can go to Amazon and you can get it. It's a red light, and you just type in light therapy, and you can buy them, and you can get them as low as maybe even $29. Because some places and some people that live in certain areas or in certain type of apartments or certain type of dwellings or homes or whatever don't have a lot of natural light. So you may need that, especially if it's cold outside and snowing and you don't have a lot of natural light, then maybe something you may have to invest in.
Mhm.
So, and that's cool too. You can do that. But those are great tips. And my last word is just take care of yourself. Remember, physical health and mental health go hand in hand. Take care of yourself. And don't do it where you have to cure it. Caution is better than cure. We need to stop trying to get ourselves together in a crisis and when our back is against the wall. Why wait? Do it now.
Right.
Do it now. That is my last word.
So all right now. Yes, this was awesome, Dr. Candace. I'm glad we was able to jump in. I'm gonna throw up one of our videos and then we're gonna sign on out of here. All right. Well, this was
Yes,
awesome. We thank each and every one of you for spending a few moments of your afternoon with us today. We want to thank you, myself, Dr. Tyler, and Dr. Candace, for coming to a mental health minute.
yes,
Make this weekend a great weekend and stay safe.
absolutely. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Thank you for joining.
God bless everybody.